creator here, creating something new to share with you. Today we are taking another one of my son's drawings and redrawing it. This is the drawing my son came up with. It's a really cool original character. He's got 4 arms and 2 tails. In today's video I am collaborating with the very talented Julio Bencid. He has an Instagram page where he posts all kinds of incredible concept drawings and character designs. He's a freelance artist who does a lot of work with board game companies and tabletop gaming. He's also open for commissions if anybody has any cool concepts that they need drawn up or some character design done. He is your man. Just scrolling around through his Instagram, you can see he has a wide range of creatures and characters that he is awesome at drawing up and designing. Julio also has a Patreon which gives you access to some of his earlier concept work and some of his design processes, and he gives you access to his PSD files if you want to go in and check out how they are made. It's a great way to improve your skills watching the process and looking at the work of another artist, and he's a great one to learn from. He goes by the name of JulBenArt, or I guess you would pronounce that JulBenArt. Julben? I don't know, but just look him up. His stuff is amazing, speaks for itself, and I will put links to his stuff down below in the description. So now it's time to jump into Photoshop and get some concepts drawn up. So you know how we do. First I'm going to sketch up a few different concepts and present them to my son and let him pick which one he likes. For the first one I'm going to use the symmetry tool because his character is pretty symmetrical, so I figured it would work pretty well for this. It's always a lot of fun to draw with the symmetry on. You get twice as much done in half the time. Is that right? Twice as much in half the time? Or twice as much in the normal time? I think that's right. Anyways, I'm drawing on this brown background as well, so you can use some white and kind of get some highlights in there, just like drawing on brown paper with a white colored pencil. Just add some more value and depth to the drawing, makes it come to life a little bit more. The second one I'm drawing up with symmetry as well. The first guy had big old ripped body and big old giant arms on his lower arms, and this guy I'm doing a little bit skinnier and smaller, trying to replicate the look of the guy in my son's drawing. I think both these symmetrical guys look really cool. I'm going to turn symmetry off for a little bit of this guy just to make some things different, so it's not quite just to copy one side to the next. Change up his hands a little bit, you know? You gotta fake it. For this third one, I want to turn symmetry off and get a more dynamic pose and get some action in there, tell a story a little bit with him. I'm carrying up this big old box of random machine parts or something, I don't know, ship pieces, whatever it is. He's carrying it. And then for this last one, I was thinking of Rocket the raccoon, kind of getting an action pose, guns blazing, jumping in. I thought it'd be cool if he was using these tails as more a feature and not just an added bonus accessory onto his back end there, using him to lift off kind of like Dr. Octopus would. This one didn't really translate well, and I kind of got sick of it, so I kind of gave up early on it. My son actually didn't even know what the heck it was. But here they are, 4 unique concepts for this guy, and it's time to let my son see them and see which one he likes and wants to pursue. So he debated between number 2 and number 3, but ultimately went with number 3, which I was glad about because I like that one a lot too. I like number 1 as well. It kind of reminds me of one of those guys in the Lilo and Stitch movie, one of the other Stitches, or maybe it's one of the cops, I don't know. Just this big old burly alien guy. I thought it would be fun to draw up, but I did really like 3, so I'm excited to play with 3 and let's see what I can do with him. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do another pass on him over this pass, and it's not going to be the final line art, it's just going to kind of refine the shapes and the lines a bit better before I go in with the final line art. I like to just focus on details on the final pass and just kind of have fun with it, filling in all the details and lines and get some texturing and stuff a little bit. So this step right now is just to take it from this initial sketch up idea into a more finalized structure. I'm going to extend his pants down all the way to his ankles like my son's drawing. At first I drew him up with shorts, and he has this slit in the front of his pants. I'm going to kind of take that and use it as a design feature. So my idea for this guy is he's carrying this box of scrap ship parts or something that he's looking to sell or pawn off for some quick money. He is eating a fruit of some sorts, and he is stealing another one with his other hand, wandering through some marketplace or something on some alien planet. Maybe he's something like Rey from the new Star Wars trilogy, where he is a scrapper and goes around scavenging for different pieces of metal that have any value, and that's what he does for a living. Or maybe he's just a mechanic. Whatever, that's the story I'm going with on this guy, and I think it works well. I've now moved into the final line art, and I'm doing some hatching and cross hatching. I really like to do some alternating hatching, and I think that looks really cool and gives some nice texturing. I'm focusing on this box first to make sure I get the lines right, make sure it follows form and is a structure that makes sense. Throwing in a dirty rag here hanging out of the corner. I'm gonna have to detail out some of the bits in his box that make him kind of read. I'm hoping they look like different ship parts or mechanical parts to some sort of machinery. This guy's got to make a living somehow. fixing air conditioners or something. I don't know. I don't think he has enough butt crack for that. He does have 4 arms though. That would come in incredibly handy when you are working on something. There's been a few times that I've been working on a car. Don't quote me on this. I mean, I've done it a time or two, but there's been a few times where it would have been pretty handy to have another hand. I'm not quite the handyman. I mean, I do some stuff on my own, you know, oil changes, and I've done brake pads before, but that's pretty much the extent of my mechanical know-how. Drawing his face, I gave him some of the fruit juice from this really juicy, ripe fruit that he is eating. I don't know what it is. It kind of looks like an apple, but I'm thinking I'm going to color it differently so it does look alien. This guy is an alien after all, and one has to assume that an alien planet would have a plethora of other fruit that is unfamiliar to us here on this boring planet of Earth. Actually, we have quite a variety here. I think there's a lot of fruit that we don't even eat commonly. Star fruit, for example, I mean, that's something you don't eat a whole lot of in America. Same with guava, but it is freaking delicious. I had some in Puerto Rico once, right off a tree, and it was delicious. Now I'm just doing the last bits on this guy, finish the line art and just filling in some colors. I'm not going to go too crazy on colors and do too much detail. I spent the most time on the line art on him, and that is my favorite step in the process. And here is my final character redrawn from my son's design. Now we're jumping over to Julio to see what he comes up with. He was not able to get any voice recordings sent to me. I guess he didn't have the right equipment for it. He tried, but it didn't work out for him. Hopefully, if I ever do this again with him, he gets it figured out by then so you can hear his beautiful voice. But for now, you get stuck with mine. Actually, instead of just talking over his part, which I don't really know how to explain anyway, I mean, I'm as new to it as all of you watching, I'll just put on some music and play through it. Let's watch his fantastic work together. As he finishes up, I'm just gonna hop back in here. I absolutely love his work. I love all the texturing that you see in his painting. He has a very unique style, and I think it works great for this guy. I like his eyes a lot too. He kept the same color of the background of the eyeball like my son's drawing. I'm not sure what this M pin on his shirt is. I didn't see that in my son's drawing, and I don't know what the M comes from. Maybe it's my son's name, because my son's name does start with an M, but I'm not sure how Julio would know that. I'll have to ask him about that M. Where's that M come from, Julio? Anyways, it's a solid piece and a great character. I really like it, and here it is, the final version. And here it is with my son's drawing and my drawing, all three of them together. It's always a lot of fun to see different artists take on the same drawing from a kid. I absolutely love how this one turned out. I love both his version and my version. I think they're both really fun and really cool characters. Both very unique, but true to the original design by my son. My son loved both of them as well. Another successful redraw. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. I do a lot of these type of redrawing videos. I'd love to have you along for the ride. Give me a thumbs up if you liked our redraw of my son's design. Remember, you too are a creator. Keep on creating, and I will catch you on the next video.